Hello, what's up everyone? Want to make another little video here and talk about fucking being cheap. You need to quit being cheap. Gary Vee posted a video a couple weeks ago talking about lowballing people, right? And I see it a lot of times in some of the groups and stuff I'm in. And I'm gonna give you my standpoint from someone that's been in it for a pretty long time. Stop it. Stop lowballing. Stop offering these folks, next to nothing on something that is already priced fairly cheap, comparable to market value already, right? It doesn't benefit you in the sense of, so like in my standpoint, right? I've got some crazy shit I'm working on right now. I do a lot of picking. I come across a lot of different stuff. When someone comes in and ridiculously is already lowballing by fairly cheap prices already, right? Without an explanation or a reasoning behind, a justification for their low-ass offer, it kind of rubs someone the wrong way. And they kind of go from, a yellowish buyer for me to kind of in the red category, right? There's green light, yellow light, and red light buyers out there. There's sellers kind of saying it all applies the same thing. I'm looking for the green lights and a lot of the yellow lights. Yellow lights are fairly easy to sell once you kind of figure out what their problem is. You just offer the solution, right? But when you come in cheap and offer someone $5 and they've got it posted for 20 with no real reasoning other than you're just trying to get really, really cheap, right? And make even more money in your pocket, you're kind of burning some bridges in a sense. When you start offering comparable rates and can justify your reasoning behind, any business can base everything off their numbers, right? In a high landscape job, if I were to go bid a landscape job, I can justify my numbers down to the hours to do, a hardscape project, from the prep to, the building to final stuff, right? I can justify every cost all the way through that, from your labor, your materials, everything, overhead, everything can be justified and calculated in cost, right? That's how you work your numbers. And so when you're out picking and buying, it's kind of a little different, right? Because there's major opportunities here. These margins are a lot more depending on what you buy and the volume you buy, and there's quite a few variables come into play. But when you start offering fair market value with some of this stuff and then using it as an opportunity to start educating and having conversations with these people, it opens the door to more opportunities, right? We often get confused in this game that we got this shit all backwards. When you start thinking about this from a self-benefit as opposed to benefiting you, yours, the ones around you, the ones right below you, right? If you're not constantly trying to build them up, the ones underneath you, to essentially kind of be replacements, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Because these people essentially will turn themselves into, like the pyramid type salespeople. They'll hit you up, they'll have stuff for sale, their buddies are doing stuff, you treat them well, they'll share referrals and leads, all because you treated them well in the beginning, right? You gave them a fair offer, a fair value on something. There's oftentimes I pay over what these people are asking. It's ridiculous and crazy. And it's for the reasons I just said, right? So when I approach these people or have another conversation, it's fair as fuck. When I ask for a referral or something, they don't think twice about doing this stuff. It has opened so many doors for me. There's literally, the closing rate is freaking crazy. And so as I've gotten better with starting to track some of this stuff and starting to track a lot of this stuff, it's ridiculous about, kind of the opportunities and what kind of opens from there. A lot of these people from a job standpoint had successful or interesting jobs within things, and it's a huge opportunity for something else, really, right? Because you ultimately are going to try to step away from this from an end standpoint, realizing that the automation and bots and all that shit are coming. There are folks that are working with what they have and they kind of know how to do in the sense and what they're confident in doing, building something to knock off the best fucking competitor right now. I can guarantee you that. There are people coming for eBay's throat right now. The best apps being worked on right now. Social media selling, the 2.0 internet, the way we facilitate sales, buy, is all going to be changing in the future. And so if your end game is being in this and trying to stick around this because you can ultimately replace your 9 to 5 doing this, you really want to be mindful of this shit when you're out lowballing folks and you're trying to build these relationships. It's all business any of this shit is about, right? Is building relationships. Do good for one, right? And he'll do good by another, in a sense, if you ask for the referral. None of the other opportunities will present themselves, though, if you're not willing to ask for this stuff after you've gave them fair value on something, right? It's a yes or no thing here. You're just trying to get them to say yes more than no, right? That's really, I overcomplicate so much of this, but I get the grit side of this, right? And so it's a weird transition right now for me, trying to get like the legit side of this. And that's part of why I joined Apex, right? Like working on my mindset and understanding the real shit, because I didn't have the guidance, I didn't have the structure, the person to look up to really kind of lay that foundation for me, right? So it's something that I developed later in life. So I highly suggest anyone in a similar thing to stop fucking wasting time. But anyway, so going back to the whole thing, make sure when you're out and about and you're finding this stuff, you're buying the little Castnet stuff, you're giving the fair value to these people because you want them to remember you. They'll do business, they're buying and selling and doing business with people they know, like, and trust. That's something that's been hammered down on me, in the group. It's something I have on these freaking boards in my windows. And so as I start understanding a lot of that stuff and tying it into all of this other stuff, it's only getting spicier and spicier and spicier for me, right? Because you know how I am. I'm a fucking dreamer. I got some wild shit going on right now that we have no idea what's going to happen, right? I've got a hell of a plan right now. I'm starting to take some action. I've got some confidence in some stuff. We're getting past some of the last bullshit stuff, some limiting beliefs I had, some failures, some fuck ups. And so being accountable to all of that has really kind of allowed me to really kind of get a lot of clarity on this, this side of things. So I'm giving out a lot of shit right now. My videos here are going to start getting a lot shorter in the sense and a little bit broader. And if you want to speed up the process on any of this stuff and really understand any of this, buy my shit. Don't be cheap. It's coming. I'm going to have some courses here real soon. Some different kind of tiered things. We're going to dive into a lot of this different stuff. Get a lot more specific, and I'm going to get a lot more broad on my free stuff. So, for now though, please like and subscribe, share, tag a friend if you found this useful. And I appreciate you sticking around. Have a good weekend. Peace.